All right. Before we get started, go ahead and type where you're logging in from in the chat box. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's, let's see what we have on here. Hey, first up, I see my cousin Marnita from Colorado, Tony Pinkston from Philly, Janelle from Colorado, Kenneth Alexander from Houston. And good evening. This is our, what day? Sunday evening live, late night crypto talk. I see Lashana got me on the 55-inch. Big screen, huh? All right, let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, well, first, there's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Number 3, always get a return on investment back as fast as possible. And number 4, what do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, and a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, take action, stay focused, and do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but they will at least minimize your risk, and that is something that everybody can strive for. Oh, man. My big brother, Daniel Shorter, on the line. What's going on, Danny? I'm sorry, Daniel. I got to remember, I got to say that. Daniel. Daniel's a man. All right. Looking at the current market right now, and the market has dropped 2.3% over the last 24 hours. It is at 341 billion. It was at 350 yesterday. So Bitcoin is at 10,200. So we see that drop has come from mostly the altcoins. Because Bitcoin only lost 1.3%. Ethereum had a big loss of 6.9%. Yeah, big dip there. So has Chainlink. So has Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Let's see the best performers over the last 24 hours. Kusama. I'm glad I got my big brother Danny on here. Mr. Shorter, make sure you keep me in your prayers. I launched my own platform, and I've never been more nervous in my past 20 years in the direct selling space than I am right now, but it's exciting time to be alive as well. I know how you feel. You launched your new book a couple of years ago, Epic Prayer. Those of you guys who need prayer, go to Mr. Shorter's page and you want to pick up that book. All right, let's see the best performers. Kusama, 12.9%. OKB, 12.2%. Waves, 11.8%. Let's see worst performers over the last 24 hours. Nexus Mutual, 15.9. Synthetics, 15.1. Yearn Finance, YFI. Remember, it was over 41,000 yesterday. It's down 14%. Now, I'm hearing rumors that people are saying that this is going to go to 100,000. So even if you buy in on it now, that can go to $100,000 a coin, that's still a profit. Now, personally, I'm staying away from the DeFi market right now, personally. I may throw a couple $100 into different couple things, but you guys saw the crypto talk we did yesterday. Went over 2 articles about that. So I always play the market conservatively. If this was 2017, I will be head first all in it. But after losing 40K, you learn a lesson. And I'm not going to play in that market too much just yet. But all the DeFi coins, there's wild swings, 14% down, 14% down, but 48% up in the last 7 days, 34% up the last 7 days. So you're going to win some, you're going to lose some on that. Now, yesterday I said there was one article that I was going to cover that my cousin found about women in crypto. But before I get to that, 2 quick articles here. DeFi is Bitcoin pre-2013 and Ethereum pre-2015. So yesterday we read a couple of articles that was kind of negative on DeFi or sounding a warning signal. Today, let's see what this article's covering. Kwai Wang, former head of product of crypto analytics firm Masari, says decentralized finance reminds him of Bitcoin and Ethereum before the 2 largest cryptocurrencies skyrocketed. In a tweet, Wang compares DeFi to the early days of Bitcoin and Ethereum. From an investment point of view, Bitcoin pre-2013 and Ethereum pre-2015 were once-in-a-lifetime asymmetric bets. DeFi pre-2021 is once in a decade, in my opinion, really, until proven wrong. So sushi didn't scare him. We covered what happened with sushi yesterday. Once in a decade opportunity. If you've missed the first 2, don't miss the latter. Although Wang is long-term bullish on the nascent sector, he warns his crew of 30,000 that there are bad actors preying on investors in the space. We covered that yesterday. There was a lot of crap over the past 2 months, but don't get distracted by these. Try a dozen of real products, and you'll get a better sense of how DeFi enables fundamentally new and interesting user behaviors. Wang's comments come as Bitcoin succumbed to profit-taking last week. The correction in the broader crypto market coincided with the pullbacks in gold and stock markets. The correlation between Bitcoin and U.S. equities has a simple explanation, Wang says. My best guess as to why Bitcoin is short-term correlated with stocks is that reasonably sized traditional institutional did a back test off of 2 months, March and April, worth of data and decided to trade the correlation, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know about that. The last 2 or 3 months, we had more than $50 million $50 billion coming into this space, sloshing around. Remember that? We talked about that. And that bubble, when that pops, that scares me as what the market's going to do. Wang also believes that the positive correlation in shorter-term time frames indicates that it relates to high-frequency algorithmic trading rather than due to the macro environment. He says, why not prevalent market sentiment or dollar supply demand of the dollar, you ask? Well, look at the high-frequency data. The correlation is strong at a very high frequency, short time frame. It's more likely than discretionary trading. Okay. In layman's terms, all he's doing is looking at the chart. And I say this in my crypto training courses all the time. Yes, you want to learn how to read the chart. However, you've also got to pay attention to a factor that the charts cannot tell you, and that is people, psychology of people, politics, COVID-19. We've got protests taking place. We've got an election in less than 60 days. We've got a economy that's on the shake. We have the Congress has not passed another stimulus package, which means that people at the end of this month, since most people don't have $1,000 in their savings account, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Most people aren't getting their unemployment like before because that got cut. And the moratorium on rents and mortgages is now up. So people are now getting evicted. So all of these things are going to affect the market that the charts can't tell you. That's why I always have an issue with these nerds that always just reading the charts. That's only going to tell you so much. So I'm not going to agree with them on that one because some outside force can come in and shake the whole thing up. All right, next article up. World Economic Forum looks to blockchain to restart global economy. Now, those of you that's been following me since 2017, I've always said, there's two things that I came into a realization, May 2017, that changed my life. The first is that blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the world today, whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you're going to participate in it or not, whether you believe in it or not. Your opinion is irrelevant because the global powers that be, the banks, the governments, the businesses, Fortune 500, they're all going to use this technology, and we all, as a default, is going to be part of it. The second thing that shook me to the core was that cryptocurrencies, this whole industry, represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. The most amount of people. It hasn't been available for other people in the past when we had other shifts in wealth, like the Industrial Revolution, the gold rush, things like that. You had to be born in the right family, speak the right language, have the right skin color. All of that mattered. But today, all you need is a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn. And there is no barrier. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your sex, your creed, what language you speak, whether you're born rich and poor, whether you have a college degree or not, man, woman, or child. None of that matters. For the first time in history, every human being has access to this. The problem is most people don't even know that this exists, which is why I created 3-Course Crypto, which is why we have education in place. But going back to the blockchain, look at this. Look at what the world's doing. I said back then, how can the world accept this technology? I only had 2 scenarios back then. One scenario was World War III to happen. Because if you look at the end of World War II, how has the United States maintained global economic dominance for the past 75 years? Because the United States was the only major nation in the world where its infrastructure wasn't smashed due to war. We have the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic to the east and west, Canada and Mexico to the north and south. Nobody invaded our land. So all the war machine, the factories that we built up for that war were still there after the war, while the rest of the world got smashed, and the United States helped rebuild the world with the United Nations, with the U.S. dollar being on top for 75 years. Well, if there's a World War III and the world gets smashed again and needs to rebuild, there's going to be a new form of a worldwide government, new world order, whatever you want to call it, just like the League of Nations after World War I, the United Nations after World War II, and then I call it Revelations and the Rapture after World War III. But this new world order that's going to take place where all the governments, by default, they're not going to have a choice. That was one scenario. My second scenario was an economic worldwide collapse, because what keeps nation states floating right now is their ability to have a currency native to themselves that they control. The U.S. dollar, that money can be printed over and over and over and over again out of thin air. Where do you think the stimulus packages are coming from? The government is printing money out of thin air, which may seem good short term, but long term, you're now going to cause a cascade of inflation, because when you now put more money, more currency in the mix, the value of the currency you already have goes down. This is why Bitcoin is so popular, because its value will never go down. I mean, the amount of coins will stay the same. There'll never be more than 21 million coins. So the more demand, the higher the value. But here's what I didn't take into effect. A global pandemic. We don't need to have World War III. A global pandemic that shuts the entire global economy down worldwide. 2020 has been no joke. We are all in this together. And so how will the world restart the global economy? This wasn't even on my radar screen. And look at this article right here. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. I said this back in 2017. World Economic Forum looks to blockchain to restart global economy. Are they coming to you to ask you your opinion on it? Are they asking you, hey, what do you think about this blockchain? Do you think we should use it? So those of you who still think cash is king and Bitcoin is nothing, are they asking your opinion on this? Let me read the article. I don't want to go off on a tangent here. The World Economic Forum believes DLT, which is distributed ledger technology, supply chain solutions, in other words, the blockchain, can help reboot the global economy, launching a blockchain deployment kit. What? It's getting me excited on this. The World Economic Forum published a report looking at how the deployment of blockchain-based solutions can address the supply chain inefficiencies and failures that have been exposed, there you go, by the COVID-19 pandemic. Alongside the report, the WEF has released a blockchain development toolkit intended to assist government and businesses in adapting their supply chains to the current economic climate and to accelerate an economic rebound post-COVID-19. I mean, I don't want to go down conspiracy theories, but this whole COVID thing, we already know it's not, I can't say that for a fact. But why now? Why release now? When things and events happen, I don't just look at the event. I look at who can benefit from this, who is going to be hurt by this, who are the powers that be that's manipulating things around that, that you can't see behind the scenes, that's pushing a certain agenda. Do you think they just now came up with the idea, yeah, blockchain may be able to help reboot the economy? They've had this in the works for years. Those of you in the military, and if you're in the military, you know that the Pentagon has a scenario for everything. They have a plan of action for every possible scenario, and then they just think stuff up in their think tanks. And then when that scenario comes up, they go to the president and they present him with a list of things he can do, plan of actions. That's what we're seeing here. This was all planned beforehand. So look at this. World Economic Forums advocates DLT to restart the economy. Just 2-3 years ago, the same forum was saying that everything blockchain and crypto was illegal. It was used for terrorist activities, that it was a threat to governments. And 2 years later, they're now talking about using it to restart the economy. The report published April 28 asserts that the resilience of private and public supply chains have been tested amid the coronavirus outbreak, citing the supply chains of pharmaceutical products, medical supplies, and food among the sectors that have been hit the hardest. The report argues that the efficiency of supply chains relies on transparency, advocating for the adoption of distributed ledger technology to create a shared truth among supply chain stakeholders. The World Economic Forum is a Switzerland-based non-governmental organization that was founded in 1971 to engage leaders in business, academia, and politics on key economic issues relating to the advancement of the global economy. The WEF launches blockchain toolkits. I am not going to continue reading all through this because I think you get the point here. But they launched a toolkit developed for over the year 50 countries. Wait a minute, more than 100 public and private entities spanning 50 countries. Adoption of DLT supply chain solutions increases. You know, we always talk about the Internet of Things, IoT. What do you think this is? The United Nations has a global 2030 initiative that is part of DLT. This is one of our projects, building the Helium Network. Consumer demand also drives supply chain adoption. Now, so you know what? At the end of this, after I show off our crypto education platform, I'll play this little video here. The Internet of Things. That is exactly what they're talking about here. See this? Allows, I'm going to read this. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Rupert Colchester, IBM, Australia, and New Zealand's head of blockchain, noted that many businesses are implementing DLT solutions across their supply chains in response to greater consumer demand for transparency. Layman's terms, let's say you go to the grocery store and you buy fruits and vegetables, but then you see on the news there's a recall. Well, you have to go back to the store and try to find out, did the food I buy, where did it come from? Did it come from the United States? Did it come from Mexico? Did it come from China? Did it come from Japan? And you got to trust what they tell you. See, with distributed ledger technology, with the blockchain, with the Internet of Things, all of that's tracked. So you know exactly that head of lettuce that you got. You know exactly where it was picked, how long it was been in the supply chain line, because the blockchain cannot be tampered with. It cannot be manipulated. It's there, like having Carfax. You know, when you got a car and you want to track its history before you buy a new car, that's this on steroids. That's what they mean here. Consumer demand for transparency. I want to know where my food came from. I want to know where my shirts are being made. I want to know where my watches and everything else is coming from. You'll be able to track this in real-time data. I mean, the technology is already here. The blockchain is now making it a reality. So Colchester states that consumers are demanding a total new level of transparency, adding that consumers reward the supply chain when the transparency and sustainability is there. Earlier this month, Cointelegraph reported that ethical egg producer Farmer's Hen House had begun printing QR codes on their cartons to allow consumers to trace the origin of their produce. Fast fashion brand H&M also appears to be embracing blockchain traceability for its premium clothing subsidiary companies. So what does this mean to you? You know, 3 years ago, I said that the average person that doesn't believe in Bitcoin or crypto is going to get in their car one day, they're going to drive down the street, and they're going to see Bitcoin ATMs on every corner. They're going to go into their Starbucks to get a cup of coffee, and they're going to say, we now accept crypto for payment. And then worse off, they're going to go into their job, and their boss is going to say, hey, we need you to set up a Bitcoin wallet because we're now paying you in digital currency. Here's a spoiler alert, not even a prediction. You know, I was taught, you know, Daniel Shorter's on here. When I first came into direct selling, my first company was called ACN. I was 21 years old out of college. 21 years old at the time. I didn't know nothing at the time. He was my sponsor's sponsor at the time. And they told us, you know, kids in college today are being educated and trained for a world that will not exist when they graduate. You're already obsolete. I mean, the businesses of the future. I graduated in 1998, right when the internet revolution took place. The world's richest man at the time was just starting Amazon, Jeff Bezos. The richest companies and people the world has ever seen, those businesses have not been built yet. The future is in this space. So in the future, when you go to get your next job, because it is highly unlikely that you're going to be working for the same job for the next 40 years of your life, those days are gone. You're going to have multiple jobs in your time period. But next time you go for a job interview and they say, what is your experiences? And they'll say, do you have Word, Excel, books? How fast do you type per minute? Do you have a college degree? What's your human resource? All of that. You're also going to see, they're going to say, what is your blockchain technology experience? Do you understand cryptocurrencies? Do you understand crypto economics? Do you understand wallets and how to move data, blockchain and the networks of things, Internet of Things? That's going to be on your job when you're going to apply. We don't have a choice in this. That is why I say education is so important. All right, let's move on to my cousin Marnita found this article. I haven't talked about this in a while, about the women. Where are the women in the industry? Working in the cryptocurrency industry as a woman. Ooh, ladies, pay attention. It seems there is a lot of turmoil happening in the world as the year 2020 keeps giving and giving. People are always looking at 2020 as like it's the devil's taken over, or it's God has turned its back on 2020. And that's not the case at all. 2020 is definitely a challenging year. But I got to tell all of you, this has not been the most challenging year mankind has ever faced. Be grateful and thankful for where you are today, being alive during these times, having what you have, because I can guarantee you have ancestors that have gone through decades that make 2020 look like child's play. This is just a challenge. It is a storm, and we will get through to the other end. How you land on the other end is going to be dependent on the choices and decisions that you make today. So don't look at 2020 as, oh my Lord, it's this bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, but more upon how can I use this time to sharpen my sword? How can I use this time to build and become a better person based on the experiences I'm going through right now, so that I can survive anything that comes down the road in the future? So anyways, from natural disasters, and Daniel's right, the greatest wealth transfer and the year of restoration in our lifetime. It's correct. From natural disasters, a global pandemic and race wars and riots, everyone is wondering what will happen next. However, something happened earlier this year that resonated with me, and this is an op-ed, by the way, so I'm reading this from this person's point of view. Resonated with me personally, and I wanted to touch on this subject because I don't believe it has received enough attention, and is a topic that in particular for this year is important because of what's going on around the world, especially in the cryptocurrency space. Women in tech. It's not a big surprise for people to hear or know that women in the tech sector are at times far and few between. Depending on the space you're in, it may be hard to find other women in your office. For example, if you're a female engineer, you may be the only one, or maybe there are one or two in your entire team that are women. According to an article written this year by CIO, women make up 47% of all employed adults in the U.S., but only hold about 25% of technology-related positions. I got to stop you. Brandon, you are right. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. I remember that when there's times where I'm not feeling my best, and there's times where I feel that no matter what I do, there's always an obstacle. There's always something outside of my control trying to hold me back. And you have those moments of you want to give up, you want to quit, you feel like it's just not worth it anymore, that why is everything happening against you? And then I think about, do you know what lineage I come from? What they had to go through, what they have survived for us to be where we are today? How dare you even contemplate the notion of giving up and quitting? You are the sum result of all of that history. Every single one of you. I'm not talking about black or white. I'm talking about people, humanity. All right, let me not go down. I'm not on that side. We're talking about crypto here. So on top of that, women have a higher likelihood of facing discrimination in the workplace. Earlier this year, right when the United States was starting to get hit hard with the coronavirus, there was news that hit crypto Twitter. Binance is hiring, and the only requirements are, really? Beautiful young girls with big boobs? Really? They did that? You can imagine my shock. Being a female in a male-dominated industry, where it's already hard to get a name for yourself. I was just sent back years by one of the biggest exchanges in the crypto space. From the different news articles that popped up on the issue, it was discovered that Binance was hiring women so they could exploit them in order to potentially get new clients and customers. They should have known better than that. The exchange was hiring them not because they possessed the knowledge and experience to do the job, but that they were hiring them strictly because of how they looked. They later recanted what happened, saying they were joking about the job requirements. However, the damage was done. Women everywhere in the crypto space felt this, especially those of us who work for exchanges. Binance, being a peer in the space, set the bar really low for all of us. And now we have to work our way back up, whether it was a joke or not. Let me stop right there for 1 second. What this experience that just took place mirrors the experience of women throughout history in every aspect of life when it comes to business and working a 9-to-5 job or in that space. The escape that I would say for women is that, did you know, in the direct selling space, that the majority of successful people are women? If you look at the network marketing space, network marketing is made up of primarily more than 70% are women. The one thing that I never really got, and I talk about this every couple of years, is that 70 to 80% of the top money earners in this industry are men. Yet 70% of network marketers are women. Why is that? And I've got many videos that cover that topic. But the one thing about blockchain and crypto is that there is no glass ceiling. There is no man that can tell a woman she's not qualified to do anything. Says she can't have this, that you're only going to get paid half of what a man is going to get paid. Because blockchain is decentralized. Is not controlled by a business, a government, a CEO, a man, or anybody. It is your ability to learn and apply, and there is no ceiling against that. So a woman could say, screw you, Binance and CZ, the CEO of Binance, I'm going to create my own exchange. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Screw you, the industry of male-dominated. We're going to create our own Bitcoin or blockchain companies run by women. We write our own check. That's what this space allows. That's why I love this space, because there is no nepotism, there is no sexism, and there is no racism. There is no institutional system designed to keep some form of group behind. It is an even playing field. The only barrier is your ability and willingness to learn and apply. So currently, let me continue here. Currently, there are over 30 million people unemployed in the United States, primarily due to the coronavirus pandemic. This staggering number has many people worried, including myself. If you split that right down the middle, which is probably not a straight split, but to argue the point, let's say there are somewhere around 15 million women who are unemployed. Who do you think will go after your job? With the bar set low, women are now facing an even bigger struggle to get employed and keep their jobs, especially in this booming space with lots of competition. Here are the numbers. Being in the crypto space and working for another top exchange, OKEX.com, I have the personal experience and statistics to help paint the picture. Let's take a raw look at some numbers to give you a first-hand view into who is using these exchanges. As you can see, the number of female users, 29.8%, that come and use OKEX is far less than the male users at 70.2%. For the age demographics of people using the exchange, 38% of the users belong to the age group of 25 to 34, and 31% of the users are 18 to 24, making up nearly 70%. So this is the millennials, that's still millennial group there, making up nearly 70% of all the users on our platform. Wow, so I'm right here. I'm 44 years old, so 15%. Look at the baby boomers. Baby boomers, 5 and 3%. So this is where the future is right now. These kids growing up with the internet, that's all they know. My generation, Generation X, we're the last generation that knows what life was like for the baby boomers and with this new technology, being able to adapt it into our lives. You know, it's funny, we still have letters that me and my wife wrote to each other from 1994 because we couldn't pay a long-distance bill when I was in LA and she was in Philly. You know, writing letters, a conversation that takes 2 weeks. These kids today we got e-learning right now and distance learning, and they're having school in the living room on their computers. So anyways, the top countries that represent where the majority of our users are coming from are Indonesia, Russia, India, Vietnam, China, and the Ukraine. As a woman who works in the cryptocurrency industry, I think I have a different view of the situation. Every workplace has its own gender preference at an early stage, and it will become more diverse as time goes by and the company grows. Okay, so from her standpoint, she's still looking at working for a company that still has that old traditional man-woman role mentality. So just because you're in the cryptocurrency space, if you're working for a company, a 9-to-5 job scenario, that's no different than if you're working outside of the cryptocurrency space for a 9-to-5 job. So you should expect the environment to be the same. Where my focus more on is the ability to create your own in this space so that you're not in that old tradition of a environment of 9-to-5 job. So I want to see where she's going with this. So one of the challenges that I face is the worry about being treated less with less importance compared to a male employee. See, there's that word that's like a 4-letter word to me, employee. With my voice not being heard every time, then create your own. One of my friends asked me, here's a perfect example. 3 years now, I've created cryptocurrency educational content for 2 companies and the University of Nigeria. And I've been waiting for the last 2.5 years for my education content to be put out there by these companies. Why am I doing that when I can create my own? When you want something done right according to your vision, you can't put it in the hand of somebody else. It's not their passion. It's not their vision. Their goal is to make money with it. So I had to create my own. One of my friends asked me the other day, if possible at my work, even want to hear a female's opinion. Really? Frankly speaking, I have not experienced this kind of issue, but is that still a concern? I do feel I work in a very healthy, organic, and fair work environment. I can speak up anytime I want to express my opinions in the office, but not all workplaces are like this. And as others have shown, women are not always treated equally and fairly. Overall, in the crypto community, I feel valued. Also, most of the people that I work with are very professional, but this doesn't go without saying I have a different challenges and issues to deal with being a woman and dealing with others who may not value what I have to bring to the table. You know, this is a very exciting time to be alive. My big brother Daniel's on here, and he has two daughters. And his daughters, I can't believe how fast time has flies. His oldest daughter, I remember when she was born, and now I look at her, she looks just like her mother. She looks like her mother when I met her mother. That's how fast time is moving by. But they're coming up in a world now where the gender roles it can be seen in the best possible time for women in history. And with the advent of blockchain technology, their ability to not have to go through the same type of environment that her mother and grandmother and in the past went through the world is their oyster right now. We're at the beginning of a new industrial revolution. My oldest son is 21 years old. My youngest is 13. The world that they're growing up in, it reminds me, and there's no secret, I'm a Hamilton fan. I love that play. I listened to it again earlier today. 1776, Alexander Hamilton, what an exciting time to be alive at the birth of a new nation, raising his son in a new nation. That is where we are right now. We are raising our children at the birth of a transformative world that's happening right now. We have a long road ahead. I have to say that representation of females in the technology sector still has a long way to go before women are no longer considered a minority in tech. And it's a similar scenario in the blockchain and crypto sector. Well, what was the name of that movie about the black women in NASA in the 60s? And I'm looking right at it, and the title is evading me. I'm getting old now. I got to get that ginkgo biloba. But what women had to go through in the 60s in the job force or in the tech field, like working for NASA, the smartest women the smartest people in the building were delivering coffee to their bosses. And you fast forward 70 years today, where we are, 70, 80 years, and women are still going through, it's not like it was back then, but we're still talking about the job force. My focus, what I say in this space is women, create your own in this space. Thank you, Kenneth. Hidden Figures. Create your own in this space. So I see what she's going. She's saying women in this field, but still working the traditional 9 to 5. So she continues by saying, I have to say that representation of females in this technology sector still has a long way to go before women are no longer considered a minority in tech. And it's a similar scenario in the blockchain and crypto sector. At OKEX, I'm glad to see other female employees, which there are plenty of. However, for web developers and engineers, it's still far less below than what I would like to see, which is a general phenomenon across the whole computer science field. On my team, I am one of the rare female faces. This gender imbalance problem arises from school-age challenges all the way up to adulthood, where women aren't always treated the same. My hope is that this will change as time goes on and new technologies emerge, such as blockchain and crypto, which will help pave the way for women to give us an opportunity to make our mark. If I were to sit down with her, I would say one thing. You have the technical knowledge and skills to work in a blockchain or for a blockchain company. Use that same technology and skill to create your own and create your own environment for women, your own business, and then compete with the company you're working for right now. Only they're going to be at a disadvantage because you're now going to be able to employ other women to be in an environment that's conducive for women, that's not going to hold them back, that's not going to stereotype them, that's not going to have the gender issues that the traditional other companies have. Compete against OKEX. Compete against Binance. Have an all-female company. Show the boys how it's done. Hey, I'm just saying. But I'm a man. So I can't force women to think on that road and that path. I would challenge her to change her mindset. She's on the right path, but take it a step further. That's all I will say. You're at the beginning of something that's going to allow you to do that. All right. That is it for Late Night Crypto Talk. As always, I talk about the need for having crypto education. And this week, we just launched my own baby here, my own platform. Online education for the new digital economy. Oh, I think this video plays now. Hold on one second. Let me play this for you guys.
Imagine a world where everybody is connected. Imagine a world where somebody in Japan can do a transaction with somebody in the United States without high banking fees. Imagine a world no longer ruled by greedy corporate banks. There's going to become a time when we think of central banks in the same way we think about calling an operator to talk to a friend on the phone. This weird, annoying entity that came between us and the things we actually wanted. You aren't going to drown in fees anymore. You aren't going to borrow money from a bank. You aren't going to fight a half a dozen middlemen. It'll just be you and your money anywhere on earth. And once this happens, cryptocurrency could very well make the US dollar obsolete. Once people understand how easy this is and get used to it, the demand for legacy money controlled by a government and bank is going to plummet like a rock. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrency.
Let me unmute myself. I want to address something my cousin said here. It says that not all women are alpha leaders. Some are better fit to help the process. I also agree with that because that's why you have in the direct selling industry, 70% of all direct sellers in network marketing are women, yet only 30% of them are top earners. But some are better fit to help the process. If you're at work helping the process, you should be treated correctly. Absolutely right. And women have been screaming for equality for more than 100 years. But here's what I say now. How much longer are we going to keep screaming for equality? How much longer are we going to wait? We need to have a couple of alpha women to step out and be able to open the door for the other women who are not alphas. And through competition, you know what changes things? Whether you go back to the civil rights movement and what things I tell people today that want to protest, you know what changes things? Money, economics, the pocketbook. You have an alpha female create a company challenging the good old boy network and then beat them in the pocketbook, watch how fast they start changing their policies and hiring other more competent women in their own workplace. So where are the alpha women at? That's who we need. All right. Online courses. Our mission is to teach the basics and fundamentals of the history of blockchain, its applicable uses today, and how this will grow and prosper in the future. Our final course will be focusing on how to trade within the cryptocurrency space and learn a skill that will benefit you for the rest of your career. That's the one thing network marketing has taught me. You know, I failed my first 10 years. But the one thing is I never gave up. And I had an aha moment where my mentors, even Daniel Shorter, that was teaching me that I can learn to master how to present, master how to do a presentation and the products of a company and how to talk to people and be spinning my wheels. Success leaves clues. Once you learn a few skill sets, then the doors will open. It took me 12 years to figure it out. And when that aha moment happened, it's like almost overnight, boom, explosion took place. And I was able to walk off my job and retire. I haven't had a job in more than 8 years and help other people to do the same thing and to take that success in any aspect of your life, not because I'm some guru, but because I followed the path of others before me who did it. I didn't try to reinvent the wheel. I learned a certain skill set. And once you learn those skills, you can take it with you everywhere you go. And that's the benefit of this. You want to learn this type of a skill set. So we've got 3 courses: Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, and how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I'll show you. We got Bitcoin 101. This is for the beginners. This course is designed to take you through the history of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Each video is designed to take you through a step-by-step process to know the fundamentals of the technology and how it works. Once you have completed this course, you will have a more than basic understanding and functioning of the blockchain, how to purchase Bitcoins, and how to use it. 15 videos, audio and video format. So those of you that have busy schedules, you might have many kids. I know how it is right now with COVID and all the kids are home. That's messing my thing up. I'm used to them being gone all day and I can work, but they're here with me all day. So that messes things up a bit. But it's a joy to be able to work with them side by side and that they're hearing me work. I love that. So we've got all the videos here. I mean, they're 5 minutes to 15 minutes long. So it's not like you are, you're back in school again, for those of you who hate that. We've got Crypto Advanced. This course is designed for those of you who have gone through the Bitcoin 101 course or have some basic understanding of Bitcoin and how it functions. We will dive deeper into the functional workings of cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects. You will be introduced to other top coins besides Bitcoin on the market and how to learn about the economic ecosystem of cryptocurrencies. By the time you finish this course, you will have a clear understanding of crypto economics, the functioning roles of crypto, and how to understand the charts. You will be ready to engage the cryptocurrency space. Another 15 videos here. So what are private keys, cryptocurrency mining, an introduction to Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum starter guide for investors, how to use my Ether wallet, how to use CoinMarketCap, how to cash out Bitcoin, the future of the blockchain. That's a good video right there. It's a real good one. And then the third course, how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. By this point, you have an advanced understanding of the history of blockchain technology and the cryptocurrency space. You are ready to engage and build your portfolio. There is no one strategy that fits them all. This course will share multiple strategies and opportunities so that you will have the confidence and skills in this space to earn a profit. There are 4 simple rules you should follow to make sure you trade safely and securely. And every time I do a crypto talk, I talk about those. Education is the key. Do not invest money you cannot afford to lose. Always pull out your return as fast as possible. I need to change this. I don't want to use the word investment on here. Clearly define what your short-term and long-term goals are. And then 15 videos here. I mean, this entire series is 3 hours and 2 minutes. So you can pause it, stop it, come back to it. Now, this was just our soft launch. So when I do my full launch next year, we're going to have tests that you can take to make sure that you're learning what you're going through. You'll be receiving certifications that you went through the courses so that you can share with everybody else and be proud that you went through it. I also wrote a book, and I'm going to be giving a book for free away, and there's going to be a free section on here also so that you can get some free videos so that I can show you what the value of this is. You can get all 3 bundled courses for $500 or individually for $200. And, oh yeah, I forgot. I haven't announced this, but I will say it now. I wrote another book called Your First Year in Cryptocurrency. So later, I don't know when we'll probably drop that in, 2021. I'll be having that book for sale as well. And we have a referral program. Later this week, we're working on this being more, because this is not, and I want to repeat, this is not network marketing. This is not binary, matrix, unilevel, recruiting. This is none of that. All this is your ability to learn the program, learn how Bitcoin and cryptos work. But if you share it with others, we'll give you a referral bonus. So for every course you share this, we'll give you a $50 bonus. If you share it with somebody that gets the bundle pack for $500, we'll give you a $125 bonus. This is not designed to get you rich. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not going to walk you off your job. This is to give you just a couple of extra money so that you can put towards your crypto portfolio so that you'll have resources to begin your crypto journey. I began with $30, $30. That's all I had. I was about to go back to a job at the time when I came into crypto. And I flipped that $30 into a whole lot in a short period of time because of the education and knowledge that I had. And it took me 6 months to learn by going to YouTube and everybody else and a lot of information that was not correct. So instead of you having to go through 6 months, I've compiled it all right here that you can learn so you don't have to go through what I had to go through to learn it. So this is our baby here. Later this week, we'll have this website's going to be updated as well. We're looking at the referral affiliate program for you guys, but this is live right now. 3 course. No, I'll type it in here. 3 course crypto. Crypto.com. Get your package and share it with others. So that is Crypto Talk for today. I hope you guys learned something new as always. That's the point. I know I did. Where are the ladies at? Where are the women in this space? Where are the alpha ladies at? Marnita? I know you're on it. She's finding things before I find it with her page, Making Moves with YE, the Internet of Things. Strongly encourage you guys to go through that. Now I'm going to end by playing the Internet of Things video so you guys understand what's coming. This is the future, whether you like it or not, or even have even heard of it or not. So with that, take care, everybody. I will be back tomorrow's Monday. I may do Crypto Talk tomorrow morning, but I'll definitely be doing late night Crypto Talk tomorrow night, right here on my channel, Teach Me Crypto. So thank you guys for being here. See you all tomorrow. Here's the video.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, is influencing our lifestyle from the way we react to the way we behave. From air conditioners that you can control with your smartphone, to smart cars providing the shortest route, or your smartwatch which is tracking your daily activities. IoT is a giant network of connected devices. These devices gather and share data about how they're used and the environment in which they're operated. It's all done using sensors. Sensors are embedded in every physical device. It can be your mobile phone, electrical appliances, vehicles, barcode sensors, traffic lights, and almost everything that you come across in day-to-day life. These sensors continuously emit data about the working state of the devices. But the important question is, how do they share this huge amount of data, and how do we put this data to our benefit? IoT provides a common platform for all these devices to dump their data and a common language for all the devices to communicate with each other. Data is emitted from various sensors and sent to IoT platforms securely. IoT platform integrates the collected data from various sources. Further analytics is performed on the data, and valuable information is extracted as per requirement. Finally, the result is shared with other devices for better user experience, automation, and improving efficiencies. Let us look at a scenario where IoT is doing wonders. In an AC manufacturing industry, both the manufacturing machine and the belt have sensors attached. They continuously send data regarding the machine health and the production specifics to the manufacturer to identify issues beforehand. A barcode is attached to each product before leaving the belt. It contains the product code, manufacturer details, special instructions, etc. The manufacturer uses this data to identify where the product was distributed and track the retailer's inventory. Hence, the manufacturer can make the product running out of stock available. Next, these products are packed and parceled to different retailers. Each retailer has a barcode reader to track the products coming from different manufacturers, manage inventory, check special instructions, and many more. The compressor of air conditioner has an embedded sensor that emits data regarding its health and temperature. This data is analyzed continuously, allowing the customer care to contact you for the repair work in time. This is just one of the million scenarios. We have smart appliances, smart cars, smart homes, smart cities, where IoT is redefining our lifestyle and transforming the way we interact with technologies. The future of IoT industry is huge. Business Insider Intelligence estimates that 24 billion IoT devices will be installed by 2020, and IDC predicts that IoT revenue will reach around 357 billion in 2019, resulting in a lot of job opportunities in the IT industry. Want to become a part of the IoT revolution? Come and master IoT with EduReka.